Well, more news from the administration. The White House Faith Office is holding several special events for Holy Week. Joining us now for more is White House correspondent Kelly Wright. So, Kelly, give us a breakdown of what's happening this week at the White House.
Well, Gordon, let me begin with first by stating what a difference a presidency make, because this time last year, you'll recall that President Joe Biden, and President Trump pointed this out, by the way, that President Joe Biden celebrated the most sacred day on the Christian calendar, celebrating that as a day of transgender visibility. This year, with President Trump at the helm, he is redirecting that, celebrating Jesus Christ. And in going forward and having activities here during this Holy Week. Tomorrow night, Wednesday night, they'll have an Easter dinner. And then on Thursday, they'll have an Easter prayer service and worship service for the staff here at the White House. They will meet along with listening to Franklin Graham, as well as Jentezen Franklin, as well as Greg Laurie. So it's quite a lineup of people coming here, and this is all being sponsored by the White House and the White House Faith Office.
Well, the president released a proclamation on Palm Sunday honoring the Christian faith. What was in the proclamation, and why is that so important?
It's very important, and here's why. It will mean a lot to bolster the faith of many Christians in America. And I'm going to read some of the excerpts from that proclamation, not the whole thing, but it's very, very in-depth. He goes on to state that this Holy Week, my administration renews the promise to defend the Christian faith in our schools, our military, our workplaces, hospitals, and throughout government. And then he states, we will never waver in safeguarding the right to religious liberty, upholding the gospel, and protecting life and protecting God in our public square. And here's something else, Gordon, that really captured Franklin Graham as well. He stated, as we focus on Christ's redeeming sacrificial love, and to his love and his humility and obedience, and helping us in every situation and difficult and uncertain times, we call for and pray for an outpouring of the Holy Spirit upon this nation, upon our nation. Franklin Graham has something to say about that. Watch this.
I think this proclamation is historic. There has not been in my lifetime a president that has communicated the gospel as clearly as he has. And now he's not a preacher, but he's just, this proclamation, he gave one of the best sermons for Easter that many pastors will give from the pulpit. Donald Trump is not afraid of his faith. He's not ashamed of his faith, and he's willing to let the world know it.
Look, no matter what you have to say about the President of the United States, he has his critics, of course, but it can be definitely said that based on his proclamation that he issued and stating that for he and the First Lady Melania Trump, a lot of people will take note of this and know that this president, as Franklin Graham just said, is a man who's not afraid to waver from his faith. Gordon?
Well, Kelly, the president has also introduced a policy initiative on anti-Christian bias, and it's particularly aimed at the federal government. So tell us about it.
Well, I can tell you that began on the day of prayer, the national prayer back on February 7th, and then he created the White House Public Faith Office, as well as the Anti-Christian Bias Task Force, which is under the direction of the Attorney General Pam Bondi. But here's what's happening. The State Department is now, through Secretary of State Marco Rubio, telling its employees, look, if someone is coming against a Christian and showing bias towards them, talk about it. Tell the people about it. They want to eradicate anti-Christian behavior as well as anti-Semitic behavior. This president, as he states in his proclamation, wants to safeguard religion for everyone in this nation.
Well, that's clearly a breath of fresh air. It seems like there's been anti-Christian bias in a lot of things coming out of the federal government in the past years, and I've got to say, it's wonderful to see. Well, Kelly, thanks for joining with us, and may you have a wonderful Easter.
Gordon, thank you very much. And tomorrow, real quickly, a programming note, I'll be interviewing Paula White-Cain as well as Jenny Corner. It'll be my second interview with them. Of course, they are the leaders of the President's White House Faith Office, and we'll get that back to you as soon as we get that done. Thank you, Gordon. God bless you, and happy Easter.
Thank you.